God. Yeah!
Hello there, Sarah from 17 once again, bringing you another one of my first matches on the Annihilation map pack, and this is the map Hazard. So, Cliffside on World at War would have been a map that I really didn't like. It would have been a map I really didn't do well on, and that I, despised with every fibre of my being, every essence of my soul, every part of me. And they brought it back. So maybe it played better on World at War, maybe it's just Black Ops and the community of Black Ops and the bitches that play it, but I don't like this map. I don't like this map at all. This map is crazy. Crazy, fucking crazy. And it's huge. And the biggest problem I have with it is it's so pretty. It wants you to like it. It's like a $2 hooker that's, dressed up just for you. And yet it still asks for the money at the end of it. It's, But it's a pretty map. It's got basically the golf course is a massive sniper death pool of people with better guns than you, i.e. the G11. And it's one of those where the cliffside itself, which is adjacent to this area that I'm on, in between the golf course, because there's two major flank routes. There's this one here that leads through that little villa area, through the gardens, and leads around to the opposite side of their spawn. The other one is a cliffside scenic walkway with rocks and lovely lampposts and, posh French couples and all that kind of bullshit. And obviously there's the big central death alley. And it's one of those where I'm sure if you flanked it well enough, or if you did your thing, you could probably get away with, gain a couple cheeky kills. Like, I clean up this guy, and this game doesn't start that bad, but it gets to the point where there's one guy with a gold M16 that keeps flanking around the back of our base, and he's just one-bursting me with M16. And my M16 never one-bursts because my connection is a fucking tampon string held up by a bunch of unruly hamsters. And it's frustrating, and it's really frustrating, especially when, look at that. Ghost Pro with his fucking farmers behind the rock, and I've just spawned. What happens? The dude kills me again. And it's... I don't know, I kind of hoped that this map was going to be really tense shootouts at long range. Everybody's behind rocks and... kind of like two walls of men firing at each other of a range, and it just really isn't. It's about whoever's running Ghost and whoever's, being a bitch. And there's a green room to my left here, where the sea is, to the right of the sea icon on my screen, and where my buddy's just about. There is one entrance to that room, and it's in the centre of the map. The only weakness the room has is the fact that it doesn't have a roof, so you can cook a grenade in. But aside from that, you can sit in that room and be a dickhead for the entire game. You could go 50-0 and think you're cool and never move. And that, to me, is kind of bullshitty. There's no counter to that spot aside from a grenade spot, and you have to risk being in the open area to get that grenade spot working. And watch this. That is what I hate about Black Ops right there. Tell me I did not hit that motherfucker with like 3 bursts. I was hip firing, I was hitting him with everything, and he runs through and stabs me with a fucking Meccano fork, and he somehow wins. And I touched on in a past video, well, in the last video should I say, that I would like Juggernaut to be brought back, and that you should survive a knife. Well, I've been thinking about a couple of alterations to that could, completely remove Juggernaut, because I wasn't the biggest fan of it when I played Call of Duty 4, but it's a lot better than Ghost and Second Chance and Commando and Painkiller and things like that. And I never really minded it. It only annoyed me when it was the dude that you shot at, he got the symbol up and he killed you. Because if he didn't have it on, you would have won. And that was the only time it was frustrating for me. But instead of Juggernaut enabling you to survive a knife, one option, which is kind of Halo-y, but I'm throwing it out there, would be 2 stabs from front, 1 stab from behind. And that kind of works on the flat jacket principle, where if an RC car hits you from in front, you'll survive, but if it hits you from behind, you seem to die. Like, you don't wear your armour on your back or something, because the dude's, he's got like arseless chaps on or something. But an even better idea, which I think is probably... I don't think you could use it because people would complain and it wouldn't be balanced, but... I reckon your first melee attack on anybody when you start from a fresh life, so when you respawn, when you stab that person, you should leave your knife in that person and be unable to stab afterwards. And what happens from then, for instance, you stab a guy, you leave your knife in him, and every melee attack after that is a butt with your gun. And it takes 2 to kill people. So for instance, it'd kind of be like the zombie two-piecing where you shoot them a little bit with your submachine gun and then you stab them and they go down. So now what you would have to do is, if you'd already done a melee attack, you would have to think strategically about who you were facing, put a couple bullets in them, or punch them, then shoot them, you know, kind of like the Gears of War two-piece with a shotgun. And I just think that would subside some of the frustration that people get from being knifed, from being panic knifed, from the dude that's connection so fast he runs through your entire clip and stabs you in the face. And I think that would be an interesting way to remedy it. If you guys have got any cool ideas, feel free to drop a comment. I do realise it's far-fetched and we'll never see it in a Call of Duty, but it's just something that would be nice to change, because I'm all for innovations, I'm all for new things. And God, this map. There's probably a bunch of you saying, oh dude, what's wrong with you? This map's so fun. You get a really cool spot, you can defend it, you can spawn trap, you can do this, you can do that. You know, the rivers run with chocolate, the sky is full of milky clouds. And all along I'm just thinking, die in a bed of acid. Just, you know, fucking dissolve into your own face. Because I just didn't have any fun on this level. And I played it about 4 times. I'm hoping it's going to do a convoy and grow on me. But I don't think it will, because I didn't play World at War, so I have no nostalgia for this map, and I just found myself running around and getting sniped. I couldn't get any real tears going, I couldn't get any good defensive positions going that I enjoyed, and yeah, this is the weakest map in the map pack for me, personally, and I do know there's... Why? Just why? Oh, little tidbit for you. Actually, before I go on, don't it fuck you off when a spy plane goes up and the announcer doesn't announce it? Originally, I had my voices turned down so that I could sound whore like a boss, and then when I realised that sound whoring on Black Ops was effective as, you know, like fucking curing AIDS with a vacuum cleaner, I decided to turn my sounds back up to what they were, and at first I thought it was stopping me hearing the guy go, you know, enemy spy plane in the sky, or whatever the fucking guy says. Spy plane! I'm like fucking rapper number 2, spy plane in the air, son, or whatever he says. And it didn't. It's just sometimes it doesn't happen. It's kind of like the ghost cap, where if you don't know this, if you're playing domination and you go on a flag, they go like, losing B, losing C. Well, if you've got ghost, the guy doesn't say it. It's like he can't see it. It's like he doesn't like, you know, Patrick Swayze or something. But it just randomly happens. And a little note for you, if you didn't know this, and it's pretty obvious for a lot of people, but it's one of those things that you don't really think about. If you can see a spy plane in the sky, it's a bad one, because the good ones don't appear in the air, and that's generally how you tell. So if you haven't heard anybody say something and you see a spy plane, don't think to yourself, oh, it's probably ours, because it's probably fucking theirs. And when you turn that corner and that dude knows you're there, and you're like, how the hell did he turn around and kill me? I have ninja on, and he's clearly not got a headset because he's running around with a ballistic knife. But yeah, it's just madness, just concrete madness. But strategy-wise on this map for domination, holding B is really important, but there's so many snipers that it makes getting A and C just as difficult. I mean, look at this wanker. The dude was just everywhere with that M16. And I'm currently working towards Hardened Pro so that I don't get the flinch when I'm shooting, you know, with the guns that generally fail me. So I'm always on target, and hopefully I'll win those gunfights that I seem to lose. And the only one I needed right now was shoot the vehicle, shoot the, you know, the aircraft 200 times, and nobody was getting anything that I could shoot. There was no cock blocker choppers, there was no chopper gunners. It was just a sniper fest, a ghost fest, and that M16 guy that keeps flanking me. And there you go. I didn't even get killed by the dude who I thought I got killed by. Then I got killed by that twat again. And I can't really be mad at him because the dude was playing the map far superior to what I was. He was getting to good positions, he was using a really accurate and deadly weapon, and his connection was making it so that it was one bursting. I mean, look at the bastard there. He just got a two-piece with an M16. You cannot do that on a bad connection. It's just fact. But thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. You take care now.